in the Bank 2025 opened up with the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, but before we jump into that, I just have to say, wow, what a day for professional wrestling. From WWE Worlds Collide to the return of Nikki Bella on Monday to the return of R-Truth at the end of the show. Now, not a huge fan of the way Michael Cole waffled on commentary talking about, we didn't reach a WWE contract agreement extension with R-Truth. Let's stop with the revisionist history. He was fired. He was let go. But regardless, this is awesome. And now R-Truth is back with the WWE. He will actually be going under the name Ron Killings, his real name, at least initially. And the decision to bring him back to the company only happened over the past 72 hours, and that's via PW Insider. I'm sure there's going to be some people who are like, oh, you overreacted, everyone overreacted, they were always gonna, no, they weren't.
Fans play a role in it, or was there something else that made you guys decide, like, you know what, we want this guy still here?
I love the question. You enjoying the show? All part of the show, man.
Triple H clearly saw the incredible amount of backlash that there was after R-Truth was fired. And also, Christopher Killings, R-Truth's son, responded on Instagram saying, congrats on the deal, dad, last run. Also saying, stop the cap on Triple H, saying this was all a part of the plan. Also, gotta feel bad for Carlito. Nobody really seems to care too much that he was let go. And that Triple H, it's not cool. Damn near everything, in my opinion, absolutely delivered on this weekend. And I gotta say, Mr. Iguana, new favorite actually.
Communicating to each other. What the hell? Yes. What the hell? Oh my God!
Dueling Code Red!
The field was incredibly stacked. I spoke previously about how I thought there was a valid claim for any of these women to win the briefcase, which made this match so much more exciting. It featured everything you'd want from a ladder match, including the Devil's Kiss from Stephanie Vaquer on top of a ladder bridge.
One time for Booker T. High, 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 high.
I couldn't be happier for Naomi. Her character work through this proceed with caution persona has been tremendous. Her in-ring work has always been partially underappreciated too. Tiffany Stratton has spoken about not being afraid of whoever wins Money in the Bank because she's already done it and knows what she's in for. But the SmackDown Women's division right now has some really interesting stuff going on, and adding a Naomi briefcase into this is only going to make things more interesting. Working in with her character and the way she creeps around in the back of segments, you could tell this story so effectively and have her hold that briefcase for longer than they usually do. You've also got to factor in Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. Do we see a path where Jade Cargill becomes Queen of the Ring, ultimately facing Tiffany at SummerSlam, playing back to the brief taste of the match we got on the night after WrestleMania, only setting up for Naomi to cash in and ruin Jade's moment again? Her character is telling everyone to proceed with caution, so damn it, proceed with caution around Naomi. You love to see it. Next, we saw a match that wasn't previously announced for Money in the Bank, Dominic Mysterio defending the IC Championship against Octagon Jr. from Treble AR. Some things went down at Worlds Collide earlier in the day, which led to this being announced for the show, which was nice because before this was added, it was a 4-match card, and that in of itself, much like this match, was insane.
Part of the Aztec Warriors. Jeez. Early feeling out. Oh! Springboard moonsault takes out.
But this was a solid exhibition. There was no real chance Octagon Jr. was ever going to win the Intercontinental Championship, but it's great when a champion gets more validity. A lot of Dirty Dom's ladder career has been hijinks, Liv Morgan and Judgment Day. Understandably so, it's his character, but every now and again, he reminds everyone that he can get the job done. He picks up the win after a 619 and a frog splash to retain.
Dad saw that one. Splash, frog splash, cover by Dom. He retains.
Before the next match, there was a backstage segment here with American Made. It is ultimately a promo for Fireball, who are sponsoring a ladder. Gable says tonight El Grande Americano is going to climb the ladder and retrieve the briefcase. There was some partial backlash here about the way WWE and TKO are once again seemingly littering these shows with sponsors. For example, in recent years we've seen the distractive apron promos for brands, and now objects are being sponsored too. But back to the in-ring in-ring action, it was time for Becky Lynch against Lyra Valkyria for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Becky said that if she didn't win, then she'd be done with her pursuit of the title. The story of this was the mentor and the mentee turned bitter enemies, as the technical masterclass of Lyra Valkyria was on full display.
Look at the way that Becky Lynch's legs are bending here. Modified half Boston Crab, and where the hell are you taking this now, Lyra?
This was easily the best match of the entire feud for me. These two absolutely balled out on the grand stage of Money in the Bank. It was technical, it was brutal, it was a scrap.
Over the barricade, Lyra now. Legs drop to the back of the neck of Lynch, and Lynch just collapses.
There were manhandle slams and night wings on the floor, and plenty of near falls to suffice.
Whoa! Manhandle slam by Becky from the second rope for the title, and Lyra kicks out at 2.
Eventually, Becky Lynch wins the Intercontinental Championship after a run of counter roll-up pinfalls.
Lyra now rolls through, shoulders down. Will she beat Becky again that way? Becky Lynch now. Becky Lynch. Wow! Hey, listen, wait a minute. From our point of view, I can see Becky at the tights.
I think this was really effectively done, and it doesn't hurt Lyra too much. Becky clearly cheated to win by grabbing the trunks of Lyra, and while it wasn't clean, it now gives Lyra something to fight against to get her title back. And while you may argue that Lyra Valkyria is already over, I would argue that she's still got a little ways to go with the main roster audience and really connecting and, you know, them not chanting her every now and again. And this continued dimension with Becky Lynch is only going to help her do that. And as was agreed upon, if Becky won, then Lyra had to hold up her hand, and Becky really milks this, saying to Lyra, you have to go around all 4 corners of the ring.
Oh, come on, you got to give Lyra credit. True sport there.
Acknowledging the Queen of Dublin's fair city, Becky Lynch.
All 4 sides.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
But while Lyra respects her enough to oblige, Becky goes too far with her smug nature, and Lyra has had enough.
Oh, look at this! No. Yeah! Lyra Valkyria has had enough! German Nightwing!
I know people are always gonna say, oh, Becky Hogan, Becky Hogan. That's my favorite women's wrestler of all time, adding to her legendary career and resume, so I'm happy. I think it's obvious Becky is going to drop the title back to Lyra anyway, and the way the crowd popped huge for her attacking Becky afterwards, I'd say things are gonna be just fine. And in a way, it kind of mirrors the way Becky Lynch got over when she was frustrated and attacked Charlotte Flair. Next, it was time for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, and after he practically laid out everybody on SmackDown, Rollins was target numero uno.
Seth Rollins tried to stack the deck by softening up the field, didn't apparently get the job done.
Once again, I love you, Solo, because the moment of him trying to impersonate everyone and befriend everyone at the start of the match was hilarious.
Yeah, I wonder if Paul Heyman sees ghosts when he looks at Solo Sikoa, the man who put him through a table last year. And Solo trying to play nice.
There's a spot in this match where Rollins gets hit with a superplex off the ladder through another ladder by Penta, all while Andrade hits a sunset flip powerbomb to Americano on the other side.
And now Andrade with a sunset flip bomb. And then through the ladder goes Rollins.
And the mayhem continues with this move from Penta to Andrade.
Penta, Mexican Destroyer on the ladder.
There was even more mocking from Solo Sikoa too.
And now Solo mocking Penta.
This guy is really winning me over. Then Americano makes a SmackDown vs. Raw. Then we see one of the greatest runs of events I've ever seen in Money in the Bank. El Grande Americano climbs a ladder from the outside into the ring to swing from another ladder to headbutt Penta with the metal sheet he put in his mask earlier on. And then LA Knight does this.
Incredible! Oh, headbutt the steel plate!
God. Oh, God.
No, not from up there!
Oh my god, the way I leaped out of my seat cannot be explained. This is one of the most insane spots, so well executed, I've ever seen. Because realistically, the room for error there is pretty slim. Like, LA could have slipped on one ladder, you know, heads could have gone into the mat, there was another ladder right there, like a lot could have gone wrong right there, so fair play. And after this, the intensity and roar of the crowd times by 100. Eventually, Rollins calls for Braun and Braun, where they come out to lay out the field.
Look out, Braun Breaker spear to LA Knight!
Then JC Mateo and Jacob Fatu even the odds.
4 of the big young superstars in WWE today.
And we see Bronson Reed get Samoan dropped by Jacob Fatu for an awesome moment.
Well, Jacob Fatu, you gotta be kidding me! No way! No freaking way! A pump-up Samoan and a suicide dive!
But as you know from SmackDown, Jacob Fatu ain't gonna forget what Solo said.
Oh my God! Jacob Vaquer just screwed Solo!
Then Jacob put Solo through a ladder with a spinning Solo.
Vaquer with a moonsault and a Solo! And oh! A spinning Solo!
But in the end, Seth Rollins would emerge victorious, winning the Money in the Bank briefcase for a second time. Now, not a huge fan of this decision. Listen, I get why, I just don't think it's necessary. LA Knight had all the momentum in this match again to finally be crowned. Same can be said about Penta and even El Grande Americano. But I digress. Rollins wins. We'll see how this factors into things now that Rollins has absolute power like he promised in WWE. Regardless of the results, so easily one of my favorite Money in the Bank ladder matches ever. Next, we saw the WrestleMania 42 announcement that the event will once again be held in Las Vegas. But then after that, we found out that Nikki Bella will be on Raw, returning on Monday. Come on! And I once again say the reboot for Total Divas is #happening. And if you can't see the clues after this PLE with Naomi winning Money in the Bank and now Nikki's coming back, I don't know what to tell you anymore. What a way to go ahead and instantly distract me, Triple H. WrestleMania will be in Vegas again. It was so nice. Why don't we do it twice? Oh, by the way, Nikki's back. There I was typing out my tweet and then oh, I'm like a rat chasing some mozzarella to this guy. Now, the elephant in the room, Mania 42 is once again in Vegas. It's a terrible decision, there's no two ways about it. One thing that makes Mania so special every year is the different vibe the cities bring, so to me, to do it in Vegas again is just lame. Then finally, it was time for the main event, John Cena and Logan Paul against Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, where Logan Paul hits an acai moonsault through the announce table.
No way! No way! No way! Oh my God! Oh my God!
But where this all becomes a shocker is the return of R-Truth.
Oh my God! Oh my God! R-Truth is here! R-Truth! R-Truth! Truth is back! R-Truth! R-Truth! Truth is back! Truth is back! We want truth! We want truth!
Cody Rhodes eventually hits a crossroads to pin the champion.
Cody Rhodes! Crossroads!